From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 10th, 2018. 7 Israelis were shot and injured during a drive-by shooting terror attack in the West Bank last night. A Palestinian vehicle opened fire at the group who were standing at a bus stop near the entrance to the Jewish settlement of Ofra. A 21-year-old pregnant woman was critically injured in the attack. 2 men were moderately wounded and 4 16-year-old teenagers were lightly injured. IDF troops who were in the area fired towards the fleeing vehicle and are continuing to search for the suspects. All of the shooting victims were evacuated to the hospital where doctors were forced to deliver the injured pregnant woman's baby, who is fighting for his life in the neonatal intensive care unit at Shaarei Tzedek Hospital. The mother's condition is still very serious but said to be stable. U.S. Representative for International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt called the shooting an absolutely disgusting act and called on Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to condemn it. Terror group Hamas, meanwhile, praised the terror attack, calling it heroic. The European Union's Agency for Fundamental Rights released a report today on anti-Semitism. It found that 89% of Jews in Europe feel that anti-Semitism has increased over the last 5 years, with 28% saying they have experienced some form of anti-Semitic harassment in the last year. Jewish groups are urging action in light of the report. CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, said its conclusion that anti-Semitism has become normalized across the EU is simply unacceptable. Harris said, indeed, all EU member states have a moral responsibility to study the report's unique, valuable data and step up efforts to confront the anti-Semitism cancer that threatens not only Jews but no less the democratic fabric of European societies. President of the World Jewish Congress, Ronald Lauder, said the results of the survey were shocking but sadly not surprising, and said heads of state must show true and moral leadership in not only speaking out against anti-Semitism, but with action to root out anti-Semitism wherever it may rear its ugly head. The agency surveyed 16,500 Jews in 12 EU member states: Austria, Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Hungary, Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, Spain, Sweden, and the UK. New York University's student government passed a resolution last week calling on the school to divest from companies who do business with Israel. The measure, which was introduced by Students for Justice in Palestine, passed in a secret ballot Thursday night with 35 votes in favor, 14 against, and 14 abstentions. It calls on NYU to divest from Caterpillar, General Electric, and Lockheed Martin, saying the firms have ties to the IDF. The resolution was also co-signed by 51 student groups and 35 faculty members at the school. However, the school, who has in the past said they oppose the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions campaign against Israel, rejected the students' motion and said it would not be implementing it. Freshman class president of the Stern School of Business, Eli Leonard, told JNS that students are being misguided by a movement that operates under the guise of helping oppressed Palestinians when its real goal is to undermine the rights of the State of Israel to exist. And a Pink Floyd tribute band has caved to BDS pressure. UK Pink Floyd Experience canceled 3 concerts in Israel on Sunday after pressure from former Pink Floyd frontman and known anti-Israel activist Roger Waters, who told the band that if they performed, it would be an act of unconscionable malice and disrespect. The show's organizers, Ego East Productions, said the anti-Israel pressure became too much after the publication of the band members' phone numbers. They were then harassed by BDS activists. The tribute band played in Tel Aviv last year and was set to appear in the city again, as well as in Haifa and Beersheba in early January. Veteran Israeli singer Yigal Bashan has died. Bashan's music career spanned over 4 decades. He also performed in Israeli theater and hosted the popular children's television show in Israel, Hopahei. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the singer an inseparable part of the Israeli soundtrack. Bashan was 68 years old. Well, the eighth and last candle of Hanukkah was lit last night around the world. At the United Nations, Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, lit the menorah with U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, writing on his Twitter account, thanking Haley for shining the light of truth at the UN for the past 2 years. Nikki Haley is set to step down from her ambassadorship at the end of this year, with State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert tapped to fill the position. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, December the 10th at 7 o'clock. It's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth at 7:30. A sit-down with Chaim Saban and Jared Kushner from the Saban Forum. At 8, Jeffrey Passel, who is a senior demographer at the Pew Research Center, talks about the history of immigration to the United States and the role immigration will play in shaping the future of America. That's at the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County, Connecticut. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Professor Mordechai Kedar on L'chaim. At 10, remarks from actor and writer Alan Zweibel at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz going one-on-one. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 10th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.